One of the mantras I was taught as I was growing my own SaaS businesses is what got me here isn't going to get me to that next stage. At every single inflection point of my SaaS business, as I was scaling it, I had to revamp my go-to-market strategy. Here's a big question though. If you've got some revenues and you've got a SaaS product that you know customers want, what do you need to do specifically in terms of sales versus marketing to actually scale your SaaS business and accelerate your path to that next stage of growth? In this episode, I'm going to walk you through the 3 principles that you absolutely need to know, especially about scaling sales separate from marketing. And when you understand these principles by the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly what you need to do to revamp your go-to-market strategy and accelerate your path to that next stage of growth. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS business faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. Now, if you're already part of this community, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching programs, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. So I remember when I hired my first VP of sales, we had gotten through product market fit, we got to $1 million in ARR, we raised our Series A, and we hired a VP of sales, and we were talking about, okay, we were growing, we got things moving, we hired reps, and I remember we were having one of our early one-on-ones, and she came into the office, and she was like, hey, TK, we need more pipeline. And mind you, this was when this was still baby TK, and I was still learning all these things about go-to-market that I teach in this channel. It was still early in my SaaS journey. So baby TK goes, you don't need more pipeline, you're only closing 20% of the pipeline. So what you need to do is win more deals. You don't need more pipeline. And looking back, I kind of wince at that because back then I didn't know about the 5x pipeline rule. This is something we talk about in this channel where in order to hit your number, just mathematically and statistically speaking, you need 5x amount of pipeline to statistically stand a chance at hitting your numbers. So if you want to generate $1 million of net new revenue, you need $5 million of pipeline. And this is why what got you here isn't going to get you to that next stage. I learned this the hard way. You really needed to figure out, and I needed to figure out, how do we scale our go-to-market strategy? So not only are we scaling sales, we're also scaling marketing. So in this video, based on everything that I've learned in my 15 years of experience in SaaS, I'm going to walk you through 3 principles that really help me conceptualize what it takes as you're scaling your SaaS business in terms of scaling your go-to-market strategy. But more importantly, the difference between marketing and sales. This is one of those aha moments that I really want to talk about. So if you're excited to dig in, principle number 1, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that. Let's dig right into it. Okay, so this is essentially your standard customer funnel. And these 3 principles line up to the stage of the funnel. And this is the best way that I've found to explain how to scale, why you need to scale, and how you want to think about sales versus marketing. I'm going to walk you through the 3 principles, and by the end of it, you're going to understand why this matters. So principle number 1 is for a customer to ever buy from you, to buy your product or to get on a sales call or anything. Principle number 1 is they need to know about you. If they don't know about you, then it won't matter. One of the things that I often find when I'm coaching founders, they'll come to me all freaked out. They're like, hey, oh my God, this competitor raised this much money. What are we going to do? It's all over. And I used to struggle with that too until I was like, hey, look, if you guys are raising money, then that means that it's probably a very large market. Otherwise, venture capitalists wouldn't be investing in that market, which means that let's just say you're at $1 million ARR and your competitor is at $1 million ARR. But at some point, you think that this company is going to get to 100 million ARR or 500 million ARR or $1 billion ARR, which means that most of the market doesn't even know about you right now. So don't worry about it. Like, it's okay to have competition because the market is so big. And this is true for all the bootstrap companies I work with as well. People tend to underestimate how few of your ideal customers actually know about you. And so knowing is half the battle. Just kidding. I just had to quote that. Knowing is the first step in a customer's journey. If they don't know about you, it doesn't matter. And you'd be shocked how few people know about you. And so when you're thinking about scaling sales and marketing and your go-to-market strategy as you're scaling, it really becomes a question of how do we get 10 times the number of people to know about us that are in our ideal customer profile. That's one of the big things you're tackling, whether it's sales or marketing. The second principle that you're thinking about as you're scaling sales and marketing is once they know about you, they need to understand you. It's a noisy world out there. And there are lots of software solutions that they're getting pitched on. Let's just say you're creating a SaaS offering for VPs of sales to help generate more pipeline. I'm making that up, but that's top of mind for me. And if you're doing that, there's probably 50 companies that are sending them cold emails, running ads, going to events, trying to get their attention, promising the same thing. So if they know about you, but they don't understand why you're different or how you actually differentiate from the competition or what's unique about you, then it won't matter. They actually won't do anything. And the third principle that you need to know about this is then they need to trust you. Meaning someone can know about your company, they could understand exactly what you do, they could understand your messaging, the way you're different, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to believe you. There needs to be a trust process before they actually fork over money to you. And this journey that this customer is on is essentially what sales and marketing is trying to do. Now here's the thing, there's essentially a line of delineation right over here. If you only have sales, let's just, at that time for us, it was just sales, meaning we had our outbound team, we had a little bit of marketing that we had gotten to for our self-service offering, and that was generating pipeline, but the outbound team was generating pipeline. But if you only have sales and you don't have marketing, then sales on a one-on-one basis is trying to get awareness going. They're trying to get your future customers to know about you. They're trying to explain what you guys do, and then they're trying to build that trust. Now remember, sales works on a one-on-one basis. A salesperson gets in front of one prospect. On the other hand, marketing is one to many, and which means that it's more leveraged. And so one of the biggest things that I learned in knowing these three principles was, okay, first they have to know us, then they have to understand us, then they have to trust us, and they'll give us money. And by the way, a little caveat, some of you might say, oh, like we're product led, we don't need salespeople. Well, that's cool. That basically means you're limited to about 1K per transaction, right? And that's as much as you can charge, because there's this unwritten rule in the internet marketing world, which is no one's gonna swipe their credit card for over $1,000, maybe $2,000 if you're pushing it, without talking to a human being. But that's fine. But that's still sales in a sense, especially if you start going after larger deal sizes, you're definitely going to need sales. But the biggest thing that I learned is a customer has to know us, then they have to understand us, and they have to trust us. And in the early days, it's very easy to brute force all three of these. We can use our existing network. We can do outbound. But as you start to get to 1 million, and then to 3 million, and then to 10 million, you actually need more leverage. You need more leverage in how people get to discover you and know about you, and how they understand you. And that is where marketing comes in. Marketing does it in a one-to-many way. They go after different channels, they have a compelling message, they educate the customer, they drive awareness, they do retargeting, and that allows sales to focus their one-on-one conversations purely on people that understand you and know you. And then now you're just building the trust. And that's where the delineation happens between marketing and sales. Before I really put this all together, let me just pause here for a second. Are you starting to see the power in this? Principle number one is you gotta know you. Then they have to understand you. Then they have to trust you. But more importantly, these three things need to happen at a massive scale or a bigger scale as you scale your SaaS business. So if you just leave it to the brute force way of doing it, the old way, then it won't go very far. This is why I was having that conversation with my sales leader. They're like, we need more pipeline. I'm like, oh, you have plenty of pipeline. We're like, no, because we're going after a much larger revenue target, we need much more pipeline for the sales team, and we need to do it in a much more leveraged way. And that's when I really started digging into marketing and started to fall in love with it. And so if you're starting to see the power of this spectrum and why marketing is important and why sales is separately important, there's a place for each of these. Can I just get a yes in the comments below? Also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just really loves it when you do that. Now, if you're also at this stage where you're like, hey, how do I actually scale my go-to-market strategy? How do I split these pieces up? How do I think about how people discover us and how they understand us separate from selling? This is exactly what I do in my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. You don't have to go anywhere right now. I'll tell you all about it at the end of this episode. I'll also link to it below. Let's really put in the key aha moment over here. The biggest aha moment I had as I was having that conversation, I was navigating that stage of we had to hit 1 million and we were trying to get to 3 million. And in other SaaS businesses, I hit this stage even earlier was, oh my God, what got us here isn't gonna get us to that next stage. We have to think differently. We need more leverage. We need to do this in a bigger way, but it can't just be hiring 20 more SDRs or hitting up more people in our network, because that taps out at a certain point, especially now when you have to show positive unit economics on how you acquire customers. And this was my aha moment. And this is when I really started to fall in love with go-to-market. When you think about go-to-market is essentially sales and marketing combined. But a lot of times people don't quite understand what each of these functions do. And my biggest aha moment was, okay, sales is one-to-one, marketing is one-to-many. Sales is great when you're looking to build trust with the customer, but they already kind of understand that they have a problem, they need a solution, they have a bunch of objections that need overcoming, and they need to be able to trust you and differentiate you. That's where sales is really powerful. But if you're looking to actually attract your ideal customers, you're trying to make sure they know about you, you're trying to educate them on why you're different and why this problem exists and why your solution is unique, that's where marketing really comes in. And this is why we always in this channel talk about a proper go-to-market strategy. That's what go-to-market encompasses. And in order to make sure that they know about you and understand you, we always say, let's have a clear ideal customer profile. An ideal customer profile is exactly the type of people we want to target that should know about us, because we can't target everyone in the world. Then we talk about having a manifesto. A manifesto is essentially how we educate them so they understand what we do, why we're different, why this problem exists, and why they should use our solution. And then we talk about having a Broadway show. And a Broadway show is a consistent set of sales and marketing activities, the marketing activities that drives demand and creates demand, and the sales activities that builds that trust and converts it to revenue. And that's why this Broadway show is super important. This was my big aha moment, and I think that sometimes you got to go back to the basics. We talk about concepts like go-to-market, we talk about sales, we talk about marketing, but sometimes we get so mired in the details we forget the basics. And the basics is you have your ideal customers, and they need to first know you, they need to understand what you do, and they need to trust you. And in order to do this at the scale that's needed, say to achieve 5x pipeline of your target number so you can actually hit your number, you need to have leverage. Marketing gives you that leverage to attract a lot of people and educate them. And then sales gives you the leverage to actually convert it to revenue. And that's the biggest thing that I've learned as I've gone on this journey in scaling SaaS companies. So to recap, principle number one, customers need to know you, then they need to understand you, then they need to trust you, and then they'll convert to revenue. And in order to do that, you need to use marketing in a one-to-many basis to actually attract them and educate them, and then sales to actually convert it to revenue. So now you know the key principles you need to be thinking about, especially as you're revamping your go-to-market strategy for that next stage of growth. And you're thinking about revamping your sales and marketing machine and where you need marketing and where you need sales. What you may not know is, hey, TK, how do I pull these pieces together? Meaning, what should my ideal customer profile be? Like, there's a lot of different areas we can go to. A lot of founders I work with have multiple ICPs and are struggling with which one do I pick and where do I target and how do I sequence it? You might be wondering, how do I message to these people so they know about us and they understand us, especially because of the competitive landscape that we have? You might also be wondering, well, once we have this messaging and this ICP, how do we run the motions so that marketing is generating and creating that demand and sales is converting it? This is exactly why I run my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. It's an incredible program, and we've had so many success stories on this channel about founders that have gone through this program and reached so much success in terms of growth, in terms of fundraising, in terms of profitability. Inside of this program, I take you through these 3 key stages. I help you flesh out your ideal customer profile, help you flesh out your manifesto, and that creates your go-to-market strategy. And once you have your go-to-market strategy, I then teach you how to take that manifesto to your ICP on a consistent basis through key marketing functions. So that way you're creating demand and acquiring demand, and then how to streamline your sales process so you're actually converting that demand. We also have companies that are product-led, and so that means you need even more marketing to actually make sure that they trust you as well. And that's something I cover inside of the program as well. So if you're interested in working together to revamp your go-to-market strategy and accelerate your path to the next stage of growth, then just go to tkkader.com/GTM. All the details will be in there. Inside of that page, you'll get all the details around the program. And then if it sounds like it's a fit, you can just fill out a little form to book a call with us. The better the fit, the better the results in this program. So we always get on a call to understand where you are with the business, make sure that you're a fit and we can actually help you. And then we're off to the races. You and I start working together directly. It's an incredible program. So if you'd like to work together, just go to tkkader.com/GTM. tkader.com/GTM. I'll also link to it below. Also, if you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Just loves it when you do that. I also drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. You'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. And also, if you have a fellow founder, a team member, if you're part of a WhatsApp group or Slack group and get value from this video, we want to help as many SaaS founders as possible. Seriously, that's why I do this. So please share it with them. It just means the world to us. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you next episode or inside the SaaS Go-To-Market Coaching Program. Talk to you later.